you go check if I'm live right now? Search my name or something. There? Okay, okay. Perfect. Yeah, I need to manage this trade because these days, like, I just want to look for something, right? So at least like 10 pips, 15 pips, something that can just make money and be happy for the rest of the day. Because I made money on a day that is not optimal, right? The market is not it's not great that day, right? But the reason I took these sells is because if you go see, um, if you see, we have been coming down all throughout London. We have been pulling back a lot, but I started seeing that we started breaking under this level here and staying under it, and it looks like we might continue this move. And since I have been having a target all along, and since also we broke this lower higher low, right? We essentially broke it. So we broke this. Um, I'm thinking that we just for today might revisit this target again. So when I took the trade, wait, let me hold on 1 second because I'm literally in the middle of it. So when I took this trade, since I know that we're gonna have a lot of pullbacks and things like that, I started relying more on like lower time frames. So I know that we came down, we made a low, right? And then I was thinking, okay, either I have two options. I either wait until maybe we come back and respect this zone here. We respect this zone here. So wait for some sort of resistance to be formed to take the sells, right? So what I did, I said, okay, let me go look at the 5 minute. Let's see what's happening in the 5 minute. Let's see how candles are forming. Essentially, I was here, the candles went up, and I was okay. Either we keep going up or we start making some sort of resistance to continue making new lows and revisit this target here. So as soon as I saw this 5 minute close bearish, this one made a little pullback, some liquidity grab, and then start going down. So I basically enter my trade right there. As soon as I saw that, I enter my trade right there. My stop loss up here, and yeah, just made my anticipation and then my trade. Yeah, I'm up. Exactly. This one turned bearish, so basically respected from keep going up to this zone or get to this zone. So essentially, all I did was, as soon as it closed like that, this one did a little pullback, got in a little pullback, entered, and then now I'm in profits. I'm about to be 20 pips up right now, and I'm taking profits right here. That's my target, which we're gonna get there easily. We're gonna get there easily. but I am gonna close percentages because again, this look at this, look at all this. We come down, come up. So like I don't want it to come down and then come up. You get me? While I'm in 20 pips in profit. I want to take some profit away from the market just so that I'm happy. You know, I'm happy for the day. Like I'm happy. You know, I'm happy for the rest of my day with a win. That's the thing, with a W. So those are things you have to keep in mind always. Depending on the market condition, you have to make a decision. You know. Come on, man, hit my TP. Literally, bro, literally one pip, and I almost hit my TP and didn't. Come on, bro, hit my TP. Damn. Whatever, I'm just gonna close everything at 20 pips. But I won. Yeah, I had my day, and that's it. Yeah. But let's see. I mean, there's some news coming out at 8 a.m. 8:30 a.m. There's some news coming out, so we could see some volume, like some volume coming in the market, or we cannot. You know, so it depends. It depends how impactful the news is. Hello? I always forget that I freaking put the mute on this thing, bro. I'm sorry. So, boy, did you hear anything I said to during the past 5 minutes? Okay, so Auburn? Yes. So yeah, it's the core price index. So basically, is the price change of like foods and drinks, like things like that. Everything that has to do with like the market, like you know, price of goods and services. But essentially, it's always as forecasted. So every time it's forecasted, so 0.3. This time it's being forecasted as a 0.4. That's, I mean, the last time we did that was April 31st. So yeah, let's see if it goes up, man. Damn, that'll be bad for us because now things are costing, things cost a lot more, you know. And then unemployment claims is forecasted to be 228K, which is less than before. That was previously. But let's see when the news comes out, what kind of reaction the market has to it. Um, but yeah. See, that's why I started closing, because I don't want to get caught up on this. I don't want to get caught up on like it goes back up and then it goes back down, and why? Like, why do that? Trust me, this is, you started where the market conditions are the worst right now, bro. But what you're gonna see that there's days that it's just like amazing, like just awesome. Like we get like 50 pip moves like in like 30 minutes, 30 to 50 minutes, and it's great. But yeah, this is why it's so important to start taking profits. Once you start seeing some good profits, just take it away from the market, put it in your pocket, and that's it. So so let's say this trade that I took, right? I use the 5 minute. I'm not saying I use the 5 minute all the time, and just for this occasion because of how the market is, right? But let's say I'm here, right? Wait, one second. So okay, let's say I was in this, and I took this sales, right? So as soon as this 15 minute, this, yo, you listen to me? You here? Okay, okay. As soon as this 5 minute candle closed bearish, and boom, I enter my trade, right? I'm in the trade. So that there's nothing else I could do. Everything I could do is just wait and watch the market and how it reacts and things like that, right? So, but let's say I'm in this trade and candles calm down. This is one case, right? One case of management. Let's say I'm in this trade and candles start coming down and I'm like 8 pips, 10 pips in profit, right? But then all of a sudden, next candle's open and we start coming back. After 10 pips up, we start coming back to my entry, right? And candles are not looking great. They're not looking. They're making that formation. They're not. They're not making uh higher highs, right? So it's essentially they're breaking the top of the previous one. What do I do there? So as soon as we go to my entry, my entry would have been, let's say my entry was here, right? These candles start coming up, and I see it. Damn, they start coming up. They didn't keep going down like this, so they start coming up. When it gets to my entry point, what do? What I do is I close half of my trade, okay? Either half of my trade or all of it, depending of how I don't like it. Depending if I'm saying like, you know what, this is not a good trade, right? I either close everything or close half to leave something behind just in case, right? That's one case. That's one case. Another case is that let's say I'm in the trade and I enter it, but this candle here, right? This 5 minute candle here, it doesn't decide. It doesn't decide to go back. So it doesn't decide to go down. It decides to flip bullish and start breaking on top. So what I do there, I start closing halves as soon as we, because if I'm expecting it for it to continue down, I don't want this wick to get so high here, right? I don't want it to get so high there. So I'm closing half. I'm closing half. And then if it breaks this completely, I'm closing everything. But since I started closing half from here and not everything here, I started just diminishing the loss size, right? And by diminishing the loss size, also the number of what the number of I'ma lose of money is always gonna, it's also gonna go down, right? So essentially that's how, basically that's how I manage all my trades. I just see if I enter, right? Because every time I'm gonna enter, I'm never gonna enter when, let's say I'm entering sales, I'm never gonna enter when a candle is bullish, right? Unless we get to like a certain price point, like how we talked about and things like that, I'm never gonna enter when a candle is bullish. So I'm expecting for a candle to turn bearish and then take those sells. But let's say the next candle doesn't decide to continue that same momentum, I'm closing my trades, half of my trades, and then if we break completely, I'm closing everything, you know. And cuando te pones a pensar, when you start seeing it, this was only like what, 6 pips, right? So you're gonna lose like what? If we start closing half here, you're gonna lose like what? Maybe $300. So, and that's a great management there, because if you put a 10 lot, right? If you put a 10 lot, that's great. You know, that's great management there. So essentially, that's how I do it. Because I'm expecting something, right? When I'm getting in the market, I'm not guessing. I'm not guessing. I'm expecting for it to do something. I'm expecting it for it to continue down, and that's essentially what I'm looking for. And if I start seeing something completely different, I'm getting out, right? I don't want to be on that. Like, I want to get out. Like, there's gonna be more times ahead, maybe in the same day or next day or whatever, for me to have an opportunity to enter another trade. But let's say I don't close and kind of start breaking on top of this one, right? Stop at this one, and then start breaking here, and then boom, 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 boom. You're losing, I don't know how much amount, right? You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. Trust me, sometimes getting a good loss is better. Like, getting, even though you didn't win, a good loss sometimes feels better. Because let's say you enter a trade and it wasn't going your way, and you had a good loss. Let's say you lost $300, right, from a 10 lot. Man, that's a win right there, because that's giving you a chance for the next trades, right? It's giving you a chance. It's giving you room for other trades. By the way, the news is about to come out. Let's see. So the spreads are getting a little bigger, meaning some volume is coming in the market. So I'm not really expecting anything. It's just gonna be some like volatile like movement up and down and things like that. So I'm not really expecting anything. Another thing. Oh, but let's see. I mean, there's somebody, somebody right now. Hold on. But what's it called? Yeah, that's essentially the way I trade. Mhm. Whoa. Okay, so um, that you're gonna avoid that if you enter on trades that are good, right? What I mean by that, you enter on trades that you made a good through analysis of what we are doing, of what you anticipating, right? But if, let's say, for any case it does do that, which I don't see that often. I mean, unless there's a lot of ranges or whatever. But again, we don't get in on ranges. That's something else. We don't get in on ranges. We get on candles that are volatile, right? But unless that happens, if it's still in your entry, you shouldn't close, right? Let's like wait. Like you have to be confident in the trade you made, right? You can't just enter, get out. Like, no, you have to be confident in the trade that you got in. Like, let it play out. You made an analysis. Let's see if it play out. If it starts playing out. But if we start seeing candles start closing bullish, 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 like that, not that it's in your entry, the candle starts closing bullish and breaking on top of the previous ones, then you could say, okay, maybe it's not. Maybe let me start taking some profits away. Let me start closing half so I don't lose all of my profits, right? So that's it. So something I wanna tell you, there's always, and every month there's always that, maybe that 1 week that the market conditions are not that great, right? Maybe that 1 week. Maybe like 3 weeks in a row is like super good conditions, market is great, and then 1 week is like horrible. And it could be either at the end, it could be in the middle, it could be at the beginning. So it's like that sometimes, right? And then you start learning that little by little. By time goes, you start learning those things. Another thing you start learning is times where candles move, right? Times where candles new like some volume comes in the market, right? Or when we usually move, and the market moves. And those times could be like 9:30, 10 p.m. So like pre-London, pre-New York, post-New York session, and things like that. Usually the market has some nice moves, or doing that New York Open and things like that. So yeah, So what time you go into work? Yo, at 9. Okay. I was gonna tell you, like, cause you know, Forex and work te va a chocar, ¿me entiendes? Un poquito. So what I recommend you to do, and this is up to you, right? what I recommend you to do is to start waking up a little bit earlier. Get me? Maybe a little bit. Sometimes, some days it's hard. Trust me, I know it. But maybe start waking up like around 6, just so that you get a few more hours of the charts, right? So you can literally trade from 6 to 9, and like have 3 hours of trading, right? And trust me, you can get a lot of opportunities in those times too, and you can start watching the charts too. So I feel like if you start waking up earlier, trust me, and that's something that has to do with discipline. You have to start getting discipline with those things so that you can start getting used to this. Because again, if you want to do this on the long run, you gotta start getting used to this routine. Waking up every day at the same time. Just so that you keep that consistency, because that's what you want at the end of the day, consistency. And consistency comes not only from trading, it comes from outside life too, right? If you are consistent, go to the gym, your mental state is gonna be good. If you're consistent waking up every day at the same time, you're gonna do your task and things like that earlier, and you're gonna complete things and things like that, right? So yeah, just I mean, trust me, bro. I'm a sleephead, bro. For me to wake up, I gotta smack myself in the head, fucking una cubeta de agua fría en la cabeza. Basically, I have to throw myself in because I hate waking up early. But I love doing this, right? So it's either sleep or go trade. You get me? It's either or. So I choose to be here and do this because I love it, and shit, I'm making money. So mhm, yeah. Trust me, eventually you get used to it. Like, I mean, sometimes you probably when you start you get used to it, you wake up before the alarm even hits it. So and it becomes a routine of doing the same thing. Oh, this here, like this coming back up. Mm, I mean, yeah, because we are grabbing. Or yeah, I mean, yes, technically it is, but doesn't mean that it's good for a trade. You get me? Just because we're doing liquidity grabs doesn't don't mean that we can get a trade from that. You know what I'm saying? We are always gonna have liquidity graphs. Like liquidity graphs are basically just little pullbacks, like little wicks that we leave, right? But we are always gonna have that. Market's always gonna go up and down. It's just depending how you use it. At what time do you use it, right? When you are gonna enter a trade, yeah, you want to look for those liquidity graphs so that we continue that momentum. But since right now the markets are such like um, they're such rangy and things like that, and slow and like it's just messy. It's not essential to it's not good to trade right now with that. But yeah, it is essentially. It is technically a liquidity graph. So like for example, this right here was a huge liquidity graph. We came down, respected this zone, and came back up. So right now I have one, but I'm in the process of getting another one. So yeah, my goal is to have 4 accounts. I got really comfortable with having one. I wanted to get comfortable and just be consistent with one first. You get me? Before moving to other stuff. You know. Now I'm in a point right now that I could be like, okay, you know what? I'm ready for another account. I'm ready to manage another account. Uh, but I didn't want to throw myself like that at the beginning. I wanted to see and get and like really really be feel ready for that. So right now, yes, I'm in the process of getting another one. Yes, yes. So I'm trading with my live account and doing the challenge at the same time, and there's programs that you could use so that trades could copy itself into different accounts. Yeah, yeah. I can show you that later if in the future when you wanna do two accounts at the same time. You could do that. I mean, I can literally connect people's accounts and trade them, but I'm never gonna do that. And I don't think FTMO allows that either. So same way I'm managing this one. Same thing. Yeah, essentially. Unless FTMO just merges them and puts them all together, which I don't care. It's something I used to care before about because I also used to trading 100,000. Like I also used to that same number. But then by experience now it's like I don't really care. That doesn't affect me no more. You get me? I could trade as the same way I could trade 100,000. I could trade 200. I could trade 300. I could trade 400,000. You get me? So essentially, it's the same thing. Like it's the same. It's just the money starts becoming a lot more. You get me? So you gotta get started. You gotta get used to those numbers. But I don't. When I'm trading, I look at money, right? But I look at pips. How many pips I'm in negative? How many pips I'm in profit? That's something I look at a lot. I look at it more as like pips. So I take away the whole money thing and just focus on how many pips. You get me? So yeah, because sometimes if you have the bigger account, and let's say you're trading with a $300,000 account, 10 pips is $3,000. So you could be down 10 pips and that's $3,000. But you might get scared, but it's the same thing as having a $100,000 account. It's just you using bigger lots because you have a bigger account. But if you just look at pips, then you're like, oh, I'm just 10 pips. I'm just 10 pips in drawdown. Okay. So look, talking about liquidity graph, it does look like we kind of did a little bit of that here. So you see how I entered this trade here? Same thing could have happened here. See, like this candle closed bearish, enter my trade, and then expect this candles to keep going down, right? So that's maybe if I wouldn't have gotten on this trade, maybe that's something else I would have looked for to enter. But again, I already have my trade. So if the market conditions were good, I would be looking for more, right? I would be like, let me see if I get an opportunity. But since they're not, I just want to stay with what I got. You get me? I'm happy with what I got. 20 pips, awesome, good day. There's gonna be more, and there's gonna be tomorrow. So, and then tomorrow, new monthly candle opens, so we could see some good volume in the market. Bro, I thought I was live all this time, and I wasn't, bro. Damn. Well, it is what it is. Okay, I'll be right back. So I wanted to show you when a news that comes out for GBP that is really really important, and when that comes out, man, the moves on GBP JPY are crazy. Which they're hard to trade, but you can trade the aftermath of that. You get me? Like you can either trade it, but I don't recommend trading news because it's, you know, really really volatile, and you can, it could be a loss, it either could be a good win or a huge loss. You get me? So essentially it's this one. This is the news right here. It came out on June 16. So when that comes out, let's go to June 16 on the market. Yeah, so that's so that, yeah, you know, the Great Britain. So June 16, right here. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this thing. This thing right here. That was the news. It literally went down as soon as it opened. Went down 127 pips, and then it went up 150 pips, 140 pips. Crazy, crazy stuff, right? But you could either trade this and, you know, I mean, it's not get lucky, but whatever. Like, you're running the risk, right? You gotta know your risk. Or you could trade the aftermath, like something like this, that we later came down, did a little pullback, and then broke the previous candle, and then took those buys, right? So you have more options later on. But yeah, that every time that news comes out, be aware. That news is super. Every time it comes out, the market moves a lot. Not that I don't trade it, because I have traded news before, and I do trade news. It's just that I try to be really, really careful. You get me? Because it's really volatile, and again, either you lose a lot or you win a lot. So you gotta be aware of that risk. And close candles really quick because you don't want to get caught up on anything bad. I'm telling you, when I'm saying it moves quick, it's that you could be $4,000 down in like 5 seconds. You know what I'm saying? And you don't want that. Or you can be $4,000 in profit in like 5 seconds. You get me? So it could be either or. But it all depends on your experience of how many times you've seen it before. For me, I've seen that news hundreds of times, so I kind of know how to trade it already. But for you, you gotta see it during the coming days when it comes out every month. So in the coming months, you gotta see it how it starts moving and things like that, right? You gotta watch it. Again, remember about watching. You gotta watch the market, see how it reacts to certain news, see how it reacts to certain areas, certain price points and things like that. See how we reacted to 0.800 level perfectly, and then pulled back. I mean, that's literally what this thing doesn't lie, man. It doesn't lie. And I don't know if you see, but look where we got to when we went up. Where did we get to? Exactly where did we get to? Yeah, yeah, which is another price point. It is. Whoa. I cannot give everything away here on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? I'll tell you later. Yeah. I can't give out the secrets the government gave me, man. You know. It's a classified file. That's fine. But hey guys, if you do want to learn my strategies and how I trade and things like that, hey, be free to message me. I have my Telegram listed below, my free Telegram listed below. I also have my Instagram listed below in the description. So, I mean, go DM me and I'll tell you all the details about it. You can join my private channel and we go from there. I teach you all my ways and things like that and help you through this path if it's something you want to start. I know now it might be a little bit like, because you're still watching it, right? You're still learning and seeing how it reacts and things like that. So right now it's right now I know for a fact right now it's still not clicking in your head completely, because it happened to me too when I started. And I was trading for a while, but when I started using the strategies that I have, uh, when I started implementing in my trading things like that, it took me a little bit to figure it out. And again, I didn't have help from anybody. I had to figure out myself. You get me? But it took me a little to figure it out. It took me a little to become comfortable with it and be confident with it. Because at the end of the day, confidence, right? Remember, become confident with this, right? It took me a little bit to until I figure it out, and then that's when I literally just that's literally my bread and butter. That's how I trade all the time. In most cases, because sometimes like this trade I entered today, I didn't trade like that. I just normal price action, right? I literally saw normal price action because we came up and then created a mini resistance and then took those cells down. Okay. Mhm. Yeah, I see why. I see why. Let me see how I put it to you. Okay. The reason I start going lower to the time frames, let's say when I start looking at let's say the 5 minute or the 1 minute, which I don't look at that much. I only look at it for this reason. I only look at the 5 minute, maybe the 1 minute for this reason. I look at it for entries, right? For entries, why? Because when I start looking at the 15, 30, an hour, and I start seeing how the candles are forming. So basically, the most important candle for me is a monthly candle. It takes a whole month for the monthly candle to form. So I'm not waiting a whole month for, you know, I'm trading during those times, right? So for a weekly candle, it takes a whole week for a weekly candle, but I'm not waiting a whole week to wait for it to close. No, I'm trading inside that weekly candle. Then a daily candle every day, I'm trading inside that daily candle, right? And every day one daily candle is formed. But since inside the daily candle, there's 30-minute candles and also 1 hour candles and also 4 hour candles. So I gotta use all those candles and all those candles formations of all those hours and all those time frames to essentially uh, do my analysis of where we're heading, right? Because let's say, let me give you one example. This is not a good example because it's bad conditions, but okay, let's give it this easy one right here. So let's say, oh wait, I'm not using that graph. Hold on. Let's say I'm in the hour candle, right? And let's say we are here, right? The reason I go to the lower time frames is because I want to look for entries. And sometimes the market is so volatile that I cannot wait. Just like I cannot wait for a whole month to form, and just like I cannot wait for a whole week candle to form, I cannot wait for when there's a lot of volume. I cannot wait for a whole hour candle to form, because look at what happened with this hour candle. This is just 1 hour. That's 130 pips in 1 hour. But if I stay stuck and be like, oh yeah, let me just wait for this hour candle to close, I essentially lost. I essentially lost the trade. I essentially just missed the whole freaking trade, right? But then now, since I know there's volume and I know the market conditions, things like that, that's something you're gonna start learning in the future. You're gonna start reading it because of experience, right? Uh, since I know the market conditions, what do? I start going to the lower time frames, and I start telling myself, okay, let me look for an entry on the lower time frames, so I can get a sniper entry, so I can get in the market and be in profit and catch the whole move essentially. So let's say I was here, right? I woke up and I saw this here. We came up, we're here, because since I know this volume, it's because London session, the candles revisit lows that we previously revisited before, right? So essentially we're doing, I essentially in my head I'm already thinking, okay, we're probably pulling back to revisit other lows, and market is basically just correcting itself. So what do I do here? Since I want to look for an entry in my anticipation, again, you have to have an anticipation, obviously. My anticipation is sales. I think that the fact that we came down and now we're just doing some sort of a liquidity graph, some sort of a pullback, right? I know that during this time, there's going to be probably some resistances being formed, right? So what do? I just wait for that. But when resistances are being formed in the lower time frames, resistances in the lower time frame kind of look like little ranges, right? Like little ranges. So how do I enter this trade, right? How do I enter this trade? I see that we came here, respected it. I see that we came here, respected it again, respected it. So what am I thinking at that time? Okay, we are in this little range, and since I'm looking for sells, if candles start breaking below this little range, below these little wicks that we previously respected, there's a good chance that we are probably gonna revisit these lows. I'm not, I cannot freaking tell the future. I didn't know I was gonna do all this, but just by catching this, that's like, just catching that's like for almost 50 pips, right? That's a really good trade right there. If whatever else happens after, that's plus. That's a plus, right? So what do? If I see candles on the lower time frames, because again, remember, there's a lot of volume. I cannot wait for a 15-minute, let's say, to close. I mean, I could wait for it, but I'm essentially gonna miss a lot of the trade. Well, I mean, this 15-minute doesn't look bad, but again, even the 15-minute right here. As soon as I see this 15-minute break below the previous 15-minute, so basically we created our support here. I see the support. We came up. Candles didn't keep going up. They didn't break the previous highs here, and we broke below the previous 15-minute candle. That right there is a 100% trigger of like, okay, I know now. I'm anticipating for this candles to go revisit these lows that we made before, because always candles make a low, pull back, continue. That's mostly all the time it does that, and it could be backwards too. It's like for buys, you get me? It makes a high, pull back, and then we go revisit that high. You get me? Most of the time, it does that, right? So then I see So then the 15-minute, okay, the 15-minute close is breaking below. And also when you go to the 5-minute, right? When you go to the 5-minute, you see that we are also breaking below this previous wicks that we have been respecting. So as soon as I see that, I have to execute. And by executing, I just enter my trade, put my stop loss, and just let the trade go, right? But let's say I would have waited for the hour to close, or even the 30-minute to close. Bro, I would have missed the whole trade. You get me? I would have missed the whole trade. So essentially, it all depends on where you want to enter, and when you want to enter somewhere because you're anticipating some sort of move, you have to start looking at the lower time frames just so that you can get an entry. But because you cannot wait for a 4 hour until you get an entry. You cannot wait sometimes for a whole hour to close. In most cases, no, not in all cases, but you cannot wait for an hour to close. Not in all cases, because sometimes hour candles don't look this big sometimes, right? But in some cases, you cannot wait for a whole hour candle to form. So you essentially have to go to the lower time frames, rely on the lower time frames to look for an entry to take that trade that you anticipated, right? So if you go back to the trade I took here, if we go back to the trade that I took down here, the reason I went to the 5-minute is because if I would have gotten in on this 15-minute, or even if I would have waited for the 30-minute, I would have not gotten the trade. You get me? Because look what happened. In a whole 30-minute, look how many things happened in a whole 30-minute. Candles went all the way down, rejected, and came all the way back up. You know, I would have missed the whole trade. I would have missed the anticipation I had, because I had an anticipation. Again, you have to have an anticipation. You cannot guess. You have to have an idea of what we're doing. So since I had an idea of like, okay, I think we're gonna go revisit because we came down, made a low, pull back. Now we are creating new resistances, and we are potentially gonna go revisit to go to my target that I've been thinking we're gonna reach for the past few days, right? So essentially, I started looking at the 5-minute so I can look for an entry to trade that whole 30-minute that came down. But if I would have waited, I would have never gotten that trade. You get me? So that's essentially how you use time frames. You use time frames to get entries and see candles formation. Yes, because I want to get a sniper entry. I want to get in the market in a good condition. Like, sorry, not a good condition. I want to get in the market in a good entry, like sniper. Like, I want to get in good. I don't want to wait and like be left out. Like, oh, the candles are just moving. You get me? A whole 30-minute candle move up and down, and I never caught it. You know what I mean? I never made my trade. You know what I'm saying? And especially when there's a lot of volume, you cannot wait for 30-minute candles to close, or hour candles to close. You have to wait. You have to start using those little lower time frames just so that you can get entries. That's essentially how I trade, bro. I trade like that. I look for entries on the lower time frames, with the anticipation of where we are heading. You get me? Because I already had an idea of where we were heading. So yeah. Hope that makes sense. Yeah. Yo, I'm sore as hell, man. Oh, bro. This gym is crazy. Every day. Well, except Thursday, because Thursdays is cardio. I hate that shit. There's no way, bro. Ya yo estoy muy flaco para eso, yeah. I need to gain. Like, I can't be doing so much cardio. We already do enough cardio, while the days that are not cardio, there's still cardio. So it's like, bro, a bunch of stuff. So it's basically, this is how it is. It's basically an hour, right? It's an hour of training. But in that hour feels like 2 hours, bro. Like, it feels like 2 hours. Like, it's literally like that. Like, if you go to a regular gym, an hour passes by like nothing. Like nothing. Like, there an hour is like, bro, forever. Huh? Bro, forever, man, forever. Cause you know that feeling when you're doing a plank, like a minute plank. That 1 minute feels like an eternity. Essentially, that's what it is. It's literally an hour plank. Imagine that, how long that feels. Yeah, but I mean, it's good. I mean, I'm sore, so that's a good thing. I mean, I want to get sore. So it looks like right now we are making a strong support here. So a strong support, and it looks like candles are starting to close bullish. But now we got to this level. We got to this price point here. So let's see what happens here. Let's see if we reject or what are we gonna do. But honestly, I'm done for the day already, bro. Like this thing is. I'm done with this thing today. I already. I I got a huge W today because the market is horrible. So the W I got is more than amazing because if you can get a W when the market is bad, trust me, when the market is good, you're gonna be like, oh man, this is easy, you know? And bro, trust me when I tell you, like it'll start becoming easy. Like there's gonna be a time that you're like, man, this thing is not that hard. Like obviously there's always gonna be difficult times and there's always gonna be like times that are like confusing and things like that. But like eventually you're gonna be like, man, I got this shit figured out. You know, I got this figured out. I don't think I can say that word on YouTube, right? Can you use profanity in YouTube or no? Oh, you can? Oh, okay. Cause man, I've been saying, you know, all these words, bro. So yeah, cause yeah, we have a 21-year-old thing, right? Like that 21-year-older thing. So oh, okay, okay, yeah, I'm guessing. No, but you know how sensitive everybody is now, so let's leave that there. Nothing else. Bro, golfers are making so much money right now, man. You saw that live the new whole thing that what is it called? Live golf. It's like a whole new group of like you know it's not PGA, right? PGA Tour. And then now the Saudi Arabia, like those rich people over there, they created a whole league. And um a bunch of golfers, like famous golfers, are moving to there, and their contracts are literally like 120,000, 200,000, I mean, like no, 100 million, 200 million contracts. Yeah, bro. Yeah, and that's just like the entry contract. That's not including like when you win the tournaments and things like that. Yeah, that's just like for being there. Then if you win tournaments, the prices are like 20 million, 15 million. Bro, they're gonna make bank. These golfers are gonna make bank. Bro, new money right now, like like you see all the situations that's happening right now, but this new money, bro, like this money out there. It's just that for like the day-to-day people, like the regular middle class and things like that, it's not that great. But for the rich are getting richer with this whole thing with inflation. Like the rich people don't care about that, bro. They're like they literally don't care. They're probably making even more money. Exactly, exactly. Assets. Essentially, that's what I want to have too. But you know, I gotta get a few more accounts for that. That's the end goal, man. Yo, so you said you were a what loan a what mortgage loan officer. So basically, if I want to buy a house, I have to go to you. Damn, bro. Yo. Hey, I got a contact now, man. I know who to hit up now, bro. When I'm ready, I'll let you know, man. Yeah, when I'm ready, I'll let you know. Not yet. The houses are way too expensive right now. I'm not planning to buy no houses right now. Weird times. Yeah. Bro, things have literally gone up like less like foods, milk, weed, not weed. Like I'm talking about weed. I'm not talking about weed. I'm talking about the other type of weed, like the bread. What else? What else? Uh, gas, bro. Like 100% in inflation. Crazy stuff. Like we were negative before, and like it has gone up like 100%, bro. That's crazy. It's crazy that I go to Publix, which I don't go to Publix no more, and one little bolsita de carne esa, you know, red meat, like ground beef, bro, $11, bro. And if you wanna get it organic, $13, bro. Bro, I could eat that in one day, man. Come on, man. It's. I mean, I go to a butcher shop. Not a butcher shop. It's like a meat store that I have close by my house, and I get the meats, and they're organic and everything. I get it for $5. Yeah. It's called $5-6. It's called. Cause Publix, man, I haven't touched Publix in forever. I don't go there. Es un de caro. Yeah, it's called. Let me tell you right now. It's by Doral though. Cause it's, you know. And bro, do you know what they sell there? They sell elk, they sell bison, ground beef. Yeah, bro. They also sell like a bison steak. And you know how that thing is amazing. Like you know, like all the probiotics that it has inside. It's lean. It's like nothing. No, you know, no, nothing. No inyectan nada. You know, because it's basically wild animals. And I actually been eating that a lot, bro. And it honestly makes a huge difference. Like you know how much creatine it has, and all those things it has inside that you're getting in your body, bro. You're basically eating an athlete, basically. Yeah, yeah. All right, let me. Yeah, it has all types. It has all kinds of meats. All kinds of meats. Like you're gonna find everything there. And if you want lobster, if you want whatever you want, it's there, bro. Everything. If you want, you know those fishes that they're like flat. It's like cuisine fishes. Like you only see that in restaurants. They're like flat. I don't know if you see them. Yeah, well they have it there, literally right there. So it's called Wild Fork Foods. So search it up on your maps or whatever. It's called Wild Fork Foods. Foods, yeah, foods. Yeah, it's great. It's great. I found that market, and it's not that expensive. You get me? It's good prices. It's the same level of prices as Costco, a little bit there, around there. But there's organic foods. There's elk. Like look at this, elk, which is 100% better, right? It is $11. That's fine. It is $11, but I understand it but you cannot tell me in Publix regular meat, just regular meat, $11. You get me? Like, okay, I'm buying elk. That's fine. It's $11, but I'm buying elk. It's a wild animal. It's different. Yes, this place is great. wild fork. Yeah, man, cause oh, me too, me too, me too. I mean, we need that creatine, you know, to get big. That natural creatine. Oh, if it's another one, yeah, great. And bro, you're gonna see how the elk meat is so red, bro, like a dark red, bro. Like it's so different, so different. Okay, so yeah, just go to the one closest to you. Yeah, it's a great store, great market, and it's literally just for meats. Like that's all they sell, meats. Oh, and also another thing, they have a whole section of all kinds of seasonings. Like seasonings that you won't see like in a regular like Publix or something. Like you, all kinds of seasonings. Like you could, you could be there and be like, okay, let me try this seasoning. Let me try this. Yeah. Yeah, that's where I go my meat. Yes, my meat too. Everything else, everything else. Well, this is another thing though. When I wanna buy like huge packs of meats, like let's say like un churrasco, right? I go to Costco, right? Because Costco has the best churrasco, right? Other than that, I go to Aldi. Have you heard about Aldi? Yeah, so I go to Aldi because Aldi is so cheap. Like you can get the orange juices for like $3. You could get pasture raised. I'm talking about pasture raised eggs for like $4. Where in Publix it's like, huh? Which in Publix is like $8-7. Yeah, pasture raised. I get them in Aldi for almost like $3.99, $3.80, something like that. Yeah, bro. I mean, you gotta you gotta save your pockets, you know. You cannot there's no way that you have to go to the store and just by getting 3 4 things it's $100. Like that's just crazy, man. Look, I'm gonna show you. Look, this is the one that I get in Aldi. Look, pasture raised. You see it? Yeah. So yeah, this is one I get, and it's cheaper, a lot cheaper. Of course. Oh yeah, yeah. I never buy anything else, bro. Try to be as healthy as possible, bro. Because I feel like if you're healthy inside, bro, your brain is also healthy. Like you could focus better, you could think better, you could learn new things better. Like everything is combined, bro. That's the way I feel about things. Everything correlates. You know, I can't say the word. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. No, like feel good. And what's the thing? Feel good and what? Look good, feel good. Exactly. Bueno, let me just give it like the little goodbye thing, cause there's nothing going on here, man. So well, guys, thank you for watching again. Thank you for joining my stream on the last day of the month, June 30th. I will be here again tomorrow at 7 a.m. Hopefully this new monthly opens and we get some nice moves in the market and some nice volume starts coming in and things like that, and that'll be great. So let's wait and see. Today I'm in the stream a little bit earlier because there's nothing interesting going on, and I don't want to waste anybody's time, and also I don't want to waste my time either. I already did my trade today and we had a W, and let's leave it like that. Other than that, something I wanted to say, si alguien por allá que necesite que yo le enseñe en español, yo también puedo hablar español. Si están interesados en aprender este mundo de Forex, yo también tengo puedo enseñarle todo en español y eso va a ser basado por Zooms privados, que tú vas a estar conmigo en la cámara y yo te puedo enseñar las cosas y things like that. Pero sí, gracias por todo and thank you guys, thank you again, thank you for joining and thank you.